Ah, there I am. What is going on here? Why do I have no music thing on my screen? Don't like this at all. Yeah, I know. What is going on? Is there audio been talking? There is. Yay. Okay. Weird. All right. Well, it is me. I am back. I am so sorry, guys. So I meant to stream, like, longer today. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, that didn't work out. I got home, I reheated some pizza, sat down, and I don't remember anything until like 20 minutes ago. Yeah. Ugh. So OBS had an update, yay, and then it broke everything. So, yeah, I was digging that out real quick. Otherwise, I would have started it just that little bit earlier, but yeah, as it is, for some reason, my Stream Deck is not working with my OBS all of a sudden. So, yeah, that's gonna be kind of funky. I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, as you can tell, my voice is a lot better today, which is good. I hear that's a thing. That let's see here. Fix myself on the chair. Maybe even sit a little closer to the desk. I know it's crazy. But yeah, as you know, I was sick, and yeah, it sucked. Basically killed about a week and a half of the stream. Yay! I did try and stream last week, but as you may or may not have recalled, it didn't go so well. I didn't stream very long, and I was having issues anyway. Silent Hill F is great, but and I don't regret trying to get in on like the early access period and all that. I mean, I'm still absolutely gonna be playing the game, but it did have some technical issues that kind of made it a little rough to stream at first. Unlike many other streamers, I don't have a second PC with a 5090 in it. So yeah, maybe there was a way I could have made it work, but I just genuinely didn't feel like it. I was so tired, and when your voice sounds like you've been smoking for 80 years and you're coughing all the time, it doesn't make for an ideal streaming experience when your streamer is tired and sick and coughing all the time. It just, and I don't have the ability right now to stream for so long that like my potential audience is willing to just kind of sit there and take it. So anyway, I am feeling better though. My voice is still a little blah, but it's way better than it was. So yeah, the original plan was to get home after work and get some food and just kind of relax for a little bit and then stream. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. But I'm going to salvage this, make the best of it I can. And we're going to be playing a game called Rat Shaker. It's a relatively short game, but it's a game about shaking rats. How weird could it be, right? So I've actually never played this. I've seen people play like the very first part where you're shaking a rat in front of a cornfield or something. So yeah, I have no idea. I've heard this kind of goes places. But that it is basically a short but sweet experience, which is perfect, because I can't stream for too long today because of how late I slept. I still have to go to bed at a reasonable time so I can go to work tomorrow. But yeah, so it's been rough. I'll just say it like that. I'm doing my best, but real life isn't always, it has not been the best lately. But I'm not trying to bring that into the stream. So just understand that, like, I'm not trying to, take time off all the time. As a matter of fact, I mean, I would love to stream. I would love to stream way longer. I would love to stream, you know, as long as I could. And yeah, I mean, it just, yeah, I would love for this to be, you know, my work from home job. You know, if I didn't have to go to another place to work for, you know, almost 12 hours out of the day, you know, I would have a lot more time to be able to focus on streaming and delivering, you know, an awesome experience to you guys. If anybody remembers, you know, what my streams were like before I was gainfully employed, you know, they would last 8+ hours, and you know, we would have some good times. You know, and I was able to play more interesting games because of that too. And you know, I would love to be doing that again, but you know, got to pay the bills. Papa needs new pair of shoes. But you know, yeah, it would be awesome to be able to, you know, not only support myself on this kind of stuff, but be able to support my family. But that is a dream. That's just the dream. But anyways, it is officially October. So, you know, that's... Where's my... I don't know what happened to the other button, but we'll go with that. Yeah. Anyway, it's officially October. So, yay. Spooky season especially is a spooky season, I guess. But either way, you know, it's cool. Everybody's starting to do their horror month and all that now. So out of 30 days of last month, we ended up getting like 12. Almost half of the month was spooky season. All right. I mean, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Damn it. Anyway. Damn it. Urgh. So frustrating. But I mean, we knocked out Silent Hill 2 Remake. We started Silent Hill 2 F. We knocked out most of Five Nights at Freddy's, which, so I gave that some thought on what we're gonna do. Before I pick up anything else that's like more serious long-term thing, like say Silent Hill F, I want to finish up Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So that was the original plan for tonight, actually. Was that I was going to fire that up and we were going to knock out the main game at least, and then, you know, move into Ruin, which was the DLC. So that's still the plan. Tomorrow, if I don't fucking fall asleep before work or before streaming, you know, that's what we're going to be doing. So hopefully expect that tomorrow. We will be doing the rest of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach and then the Ruin DLC. Yeah. So the plan with that, by the way, because I know there's multiple endings with it, what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to finish the game. Whatever we've set in motion, we're just going to get that ending. And then we're going to go to YouTube and we're going to pop open the all the other endings. And the reason why is because I don't really want to have to go back and redo the game to get the other endings. You know, I would rather just move into the Ruin DLC. As far as I understand, there are only 2 things I haven't done in the game. Well, 3 things. But they kind of tie together. So, because I did Monty's golfing thing first, I locked myself out of being able to do the Freddy, the Space Freddy ride, attraction, whatever. And because of that, I didn't get to kill Chica. Now, apparently there's a way that you can knock out both Monty Golf and the Fazbear Freddy like space thing in the same hour. So you do the Fazbear Freddy thing, you knock that out, you kill Chica, and then you can actually go and get Monty Golf done in the same hour using the tickets thing. But because I used my ticket from Monty Golf first, Monty Golf doesn't give you another ticket, so I'm locked out of the Freddy thing. So that was what you needed to start doing to get the true ending, the good ending. So I already know my ending is going to be rotten. Because the other issue is that in the Freddy ride, there is some clues on how to basically find Vanessa's hideout, and Vanny, that is the rabbit that that's her alter ego. So and when you're playing through it, you get all these clues that Vanessa is Vanny, because obviously they're never in the same place at the same time. You know, she apparently like got brainwashed or something, so she acts like an animatronic. She has like basically a murderous animatronic alter ego. She has like this weird mental interference thing, which is why the robots are actually all trying to kill you, because they are being controlled by her to some degree, or something to that effect. That's the story as best as I could understand it. But as you play through the game, there are a bunch of little clues that get unlocked, like little notes and things to kind of help explain the story, which I did not see all of that because, of course, I missed parts of it while I was playing the game. So that said, I already know the ending I'm going to get is not going to be the good one. So between so when you this last little bit, because I have Roxy's eyes now. With this last little bit, I have to finish that up, but then there's an hour left of the game. The hours, the hour 5 to 6. You can't save after the initial save of 5 o'clock or whatever. And then from 5 to 6, you have all of saving stations are disabled. And you have to do the last part of the game basically in one run. You can't die because it just takes you all the way back to the original save. So anything you've done during that hour, it becomes done, which sucks, to be honest. Now, suppose there's a way to glitch it and stuff like that, but we already know how glitchy this game is already. I'm not going to try and risk that. So, but yeah, we'll knock that out. We'll knock that out. Other than that, yeah, that's kind of the current plan. It was what was going to happen tonight, but now tonight's going to change. We're going to play Rat Shaker instead. And then, yeah, we're gonna try and get 5 Nights tomorrow. Yeah. That said, outside of those plans, just expect me to be streaming more again. That really sucked to get the cold, but we're past it. We're gonna do our best to kind of get things back on track. At least get back to what we were doing before with a relatively consistent schedule. With a few days off during the week, but otherwise, we be streaming, yo. Anyway, yeah. So I figured, before we really get into the streaming Rat Shaker, I figured I would talk about all the weird things happening in the industry. So, yay! Because I needed an outlet for this. Oh my god. It's bad. It's bad. What the hell is going on in this world these days, man? So many bad things. So many bad things. But we'll focus on the gaming side of things, because, holy shrimp, man. Like, I don't understand. Alright, so. Obviously, there's the big one, which is that Electronic Arts got sold to a company from Saudi Arabia, the consortium or something like that, which is one. It sounds like something right out of like a movie, but also essentially it's the Saudi Wealth Fund. If anybody doesn't know what that is, essentially Saudi Arabian government is looking to kind of put its cash into other things, because they know that sooner or later they're not going to be able to have the money through oil, and they want to maintain their presence and influence and all that as a powerful country. So that's basically deals with Saudi Arabia, their wealth fund. So like in terms of video gaming, they've been acting like Tencent, where they've been investing into or buying up game developers and studios and publishers. Like for example, they have a stake in I believe Nintendo at this point. They do have a stake in either they own it or they have a stake in SNK. And obviously now we have this thing with Xbox. But I'm gonna say it right now. I think EA is basically dead. I know that sounds like hyperbole, but the problem is that they're doing something called a leveraged buyout. If you know what a leveraged buyout is, yeah, I'll get you a definition. So a leveraged buyout, and this is from Wikipedia, but a leveraged buyout is the acquisition of a company using a significant proportion of borrowed money, leverage, to fund the acquisition, with the remainder of the purchase price funded by the private equity. The assets of the acquired company are often used as collateral for the financing, along with any equity contributed by the acquirer. While corporate acquisitions often employ leverage to finance the purchase of the target, the term leveraged buyout is typically only employed when the acquirer is a financial investor or a financial sponsor. The use of debt, which normally has a lower cost of capital than equity, serves to reduce the overall cost of financing for the acquisition and enhance returns for the private equity investor. The equity investor can increase their projected returns by employing more leverage, creating incentives to maximize the proportion of debt relative to equity, the debt-to-equity ratio. While lenders have an incentive to limit the amount of leverage they will provide, in certain cases, the acquired company may be over-leveraged, meaning that the amount of leverage assumed by the target company was too high for the cash flows generated by the company to service the debt. As a result, the increased use of leverage increases the risk of default should the company perform poorly after the buyout. Since the early 2000s, the debt-to-equity ratio in leverage buyouts has declined significantly, resulting in increased focus on operational improvements and follow-on M&A activity, that's mergers and acquisitions, to generate attractive returns. So, essentially, and leveraged buyout if you've ever watched what's been happening to the retail sector in the United States, but, it's also happening worldwide too. So, essentially what a leveraged buyout is, once you get past all the investees, is what ends up happening, like, for example, in this case, but we'll just use a really generic example. You are a company from like a fast food company, like a McDonald's or a Burger King or something like that. And you are a company that, like, you peaked in the 90s. You have a very popular brand name. People know who you are. Kids know who you are. But your company hasn't been doing so hot lately. So your heyday is kind of been passing, and you are looking at you're looking at your projections, and you're like, we could introduce a new product for food or something, but what really could we be doing here? And the answer is, well, not much. You don't know what the future is going to be, but what you do know is that it's going to suck until you can kind of pull yourself out of a nosedive. That's Electronic Arts. Like, Electronic Arts isn't failing. Like, they make good money. Like, they make a lot of money off of FIFA. They have mobile games they make good money from. But, like, let's be honest, the heyday of Electronic Arts was like 10, 20 years ago. Electronic Arts has not been doing so well lately. Like, if you think about it, in the industry today, do you know what Electronic Arts makes? Most people don't. Like, okay, Battlefield, but like, Battlefield hasn't really been a mega franchise like Call of Duty in a while. Does it make money? Probably, but not like all of the monies, which is, a problem when you're like a AAA publisher. The Sims probably makes decent money for EA. But a lot of like what EA was making money on was like FIFA and Madden and things like that. But like, their sports games, they're not, it's not like it used to be for them. It's really just the point. EA used to be the company that was pushing out lots of interesting, weird, quirky games, along with their, usual suspect type stuff, the so-called like evergreen yearly titles, like Battlefield, or the Sims. They put a new Sims expansion pack like every year, or like Madden or FIFA. It just hasn't been a thing really for them. I'm not saying they're in decline in that sense of like the company's been turning to shit, blah, blah, blah. Like EA's notoriously been known as kind of a crummy company. But yeah, nobody thinks of EA as a successful, major third-party publisher anymore. It just hasn't been a thing. So, going private on paper sounds good for them, so that they're not beholden to shareholders and they can kind of refocus their money into things that could potentially help with their long-term success. But the problem is that that's not what's happening here. What's happening here, and this is going back to the fast food thing, is like the fast food company, they need a cash injection to survive. Especially because like in the current market, like cash injections are not really a healthy thing right now. They never really were, but like the money used to flow a bit more freely before COVID, and the interest rates, were way lower, which made investing basically super easy because you knew you were going to get a return no matter what. So with the leverage buyout, what the private investor did, this consortium, was they took EA's assets, the value of their assets, and when they bought EA out to make them go private, when they bought all the shareholders out and everything, what they did was they basically took the assets and they took out a giant loan in the name of EA. So EA is now on the hook for a bunch of money. Let me see if I can get the right number here. EA buyout debt. Let's see here. Where is... Yes. It's a $20 billion loan from JP Morgan. Which is a lot of money. Like, it doesn't seem like it nowadays because a billion just is such a common word people use, but billion is a lot of money. Like, to be able to make that money back, how? Right? How? I mean, like, EA is not doing well in the first place. So how do they make this money back? Like, they'd have to pull a win out of their ass consistently for like years. EA is not in that kind of position right now. They're just not. Maybe Battlefield 6 is their winning ticket. I don't think it is. And so I've been hearing like rumors like, oh, they're gonna probably jump into AI. No, they're definitely jumping into AI. Everybody's jumping into AI anyway. So that's not really their magic ticket. Maybe moving into mobile. I don't know. Maybe finding some way to like, milk more money out of people that buying FIFA or something. Maybe, but like it doesn't translate into billions in terms of profits. And then you still have to be able to keep your company going and paying your employees and all that. So like, yeah, it's not a thing. So yeah, according to this article from PC Gamer, reading that might produce a faint dissonant tingle in the back of your mind. You might be wondering, if private equity firms could take out loans that only their companies are responsible for, could they bleed more money out of a valuable company than they paid and avoid any consequences when that company goes bankrupt? And you'd be right to wonder, because that's exactly what some private equity firms do. So yeah, if you're not terribly concerned about a company's long-term survival, there are a myriad of ways to drain it of as much value as possible. As The Guardian wrote last year, private equity firms have hollowed out company workforces and raised prices to pull in unsustainable profits, aiming to cut loose before declining product quality tanks sales. Others have liquidated company assets, enriching investors with the sale of real estate, subsidiaries, and intellectual property. Sometimes these sold assets will end up driving the company further back into debt through sale-leaseback agreements, where the firm will arrange for the company to sell its real estate properties, pocketing the profits while the company is forced to pay rent for the use of its own business space. Yep. It's been a plague on the economy. I'm going to say this. It's been a plague on the economy. This type of thing should not be legal. It should not even be allowed at all. Like, EA going private is one thing. I believe that a public company should absolutely be able to go private if it wants to. But, and vice versa, obviously. But the leveraged buyout is a scam. It's something that is masked as a good thing, but in reality is almost always used for a shit thing. So yeah. Yeah. Investors and analysts however, seem largely concerned about EA suffering the potential death touch of private equity, in part because of the investment from Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, which won't necessarily be following the same playbook as the private equity firms joining it in the buyout. But, I mean, no. No. I'm not saying that Saudi Arabia is looking to liquidate EA as quickly as possible, but like, the company that you knew, the EA that you knew and / loved, I guess, is dead. Like, it's dead. EA is dead. It's going to be a corpse parading around, just like SNK is currently. And yes, you heard me say that. Because that is exactly what SNK is right now. SNK is a ghost of a company. It doesn't produce anything like they tried. Like they had I think it was Fatal Fury came out and with a wet fart that nobody cared about. Even Maximilian, fighting game, dude. I know he's not like the biggest SNK fan, but he likes SNK, he likes fighting games. Even he was like, You know, he tried it out for a little bit and it was gone. He did not care anymore. You know, Fatal, was it Mark of the Wolves or whatever? The, you know, Guru, like, I don't know if that came out yet, but like, yeah. But, you know, he loved King of Fighters and stuff. It just, yeah, it's, I mean, there really hasn't been much. There was a 2D Metal Slug Tactics game that kind of came and went. That was kind of interesting, won't lie. But most of what SNK does now is just, hey, remember that we used to be that company that made Neo Geo games? And that's kind of about it. Even now, I think their newest project is like enhanced Neo Geo games or something. Which, I mean, look, I have a ton of nostalgia for the Neo Geo. One of my goals in life is to own an actual Neo Geo. But like, I'm not stupid. I know, you know, I was excited when SNK was trying to make a comeback until I realized what was happening. You know, it's just a nostalgia company at this point that occasionally makes a new project. You know, like Sega could be that company, but Sega does actually make genuinely large AAA projects, which is a lot more than you could say for other companies. And, you know, love or hate the current Sega, you know, who still has the DNA of the old Sega, even if it is more Sammy than Sega at this point. You know, but like, yeah, there's just no way EA can service that debt. And what's going to end up happening is the company's going to collapse and it's going to start being changed. And people will be like, oh, well, you know, of course it's going to be changed. It's owned by Saudi Arabia. But it's like, yeah, it's more like change like Red Lobster or Toys R Us or something, where the company still exists in some capacity, but it's not the company that you remember from the 80s or 90s or 2000s. It's not the company that made, you know, there's no EA Big coming back. You know, there's none of that. Nothing of what you remember from your nostalgia as a kid is coming back. So, and there's just, you know, this is the company that made Mirror's Edge, you know, and Alice Madness Returns and Command & Conquer and all that. Like, that company is just not, it's gone. And it's a really crazy thing to think about too, because like, you know, they're like watching this company, it's been wild because like when Electronic Arts first started, it was a bunch of different like major Rockstar type like industry developers. You know, think like you know, John Romero type of people who came together and formed a company that was like for developers, by developers, for the fans, you know, like that kind of a thing. And true to form, originally started out that way. You know, I mean, they didn't, not without their scummy things. Like, they were the ones who basically ended up breaking EA's or Sega's copy protection on the Sega Genesis and used that to blackmail them for favorable third-party terms. Which is why EA had those little special cartridges that had the yellow tab on them, if anybody remembers that. Here, let's see here. Yeah. So Electronic Arts games always had, let's see here. These titles behind, these things behind me. So they had, oh, wrong one. So they had these, all these games that had yellow tabs were Electronic Arts games. So, I mean, there was Codemasters that infamously had, let's see here. Yeah, there's these. These were Codemaster ones. These are actually not too easy to find nowadays, but they have controller ports built into them for multiplayer. Man, I miss the days when you had weird shit like this. But anyways, so you had that, but like the games that had like the yellow tab here, as you can kind of see, yeah, how EA broke Sega. Essentially, what Electronic Arts did back then was they bypassed the copy protection on the Sega Genesis. They knew they couldn't get favorable publishing terms for themselves from like Nintendo. You're never going to negotiate it with Nintendo on, you know, on your own terms. That's not how Nintendo works. And at the time, Nintendo ruled the industry with an iron fist. So, Sega was trying to find an angle to break in, but they also, they wanted to make money off of royalties for selling their, the rights to being able to publish games on their platform. So Electronic Arts was like, hey, Sega, we broke your copy protection. Give us better terms than you would give other people on your game platform, on your game console. And we won't go public with this so that other developers can also break your copy protection. And you would think to yourself, like, isn't that illegal? But like, Sega didn't have the resources to fight that kind of a problem. There was already issues with it in terms of, if anybody remembers the company Tengen, this was a publisher from Atari that basically made games however the fuck they wanted to. They did not care about, so these games, Tengen, if anyone remembers, like the black NES cartridges, these were not licensed by Nintendo. They did the same thing for other platforms like Sega and stuff like that. Eventually they did get like the Sega seal of quality and all that. But yeah, at the time they kind of just published whatever the heck they wanted to. So yeah, 19 ways to start the 90s with a bang. What is this? Oh man, that's that's hilarious. But yeah, this just kind of shows you, here's your NES with the Game Genie, of course. Or no, sorry, that's the black cartridge. But they published like Shinobi, Rolling Thunder, Vindigators, Roadrunners, Alien Syndrome, Afterburner, Pac-Man. Like, they were publishing some pretty big hits. It's just that like these versions were not the official licensed versions. There was an official version of Pac-Man, but it was not the same as the Tengen version. Anyway, this was their way of trying to get around Nintendo charging them to publish games on their platform. So this was already a thing that was happening in the industry anyway. So EA found a way to bypass the Genesis thing, and then went on to basically make, games for the Sega Genesis. And that was why EA's support for Genesis always seemed better than it did for Super Nintendo. Because that's literally what was happening. So anyway, so it's not like EA has always been super nice guy. But EA's, they've made quality games, a lot of interesting and unique and different games. Times changed. And yeah, this is the company that made the Strike series. This is the company that made, like the Might and Magic and just, Haunting Guy. They made, not all of their games were hits, obviously, but they made a lot of interesting things throughout the 80s and 90s and 2000s. So, yeah, they rose to become one of the biggest third-party publishers in the industry, if not probably the biggest for a while. And it's funny because, as we were moving into the 2000s, the influence of Japanese publishers like Capcom and Konami and stuff were starting to fade in the rise of like EA, Activision, Ubisoft, and all these other Western and, American, European developers and stuff like that. That was what the industry kind of did. And now we've kind of flopped right back. Konami's making a comeback. Capcom is doing better than ever. It's not quite the same as your nostalgia remembers, but like it's, Sega's doing good for publishing. Nintendo's always healthy. A lot of smaller companies from Japan are starting to finally find some purchase, and, they're finally starting to make, like Danganronpa, a lot of visual novels have been doing really well. So, I'm not saying it's a new golden age for Japanese publishers, but Japanese publishers are definitely proving to be more resilient these days, after kind of getting hammered in the mid 2000s. And now we're in a situation where it's like Ubisoft is facing severe issues, and there's talks about being bought out by Tencent. Activision got bought by Microsoft. I would not consider Activision a third-party publisher anymore. Bethesda and Bungie and a lot of other publishers are now owned by Sony and Microsoft. Electronic Arts, kind of the last big major third-party publisher, and now they're gone too. They're owned by a private equity company. So yeah, it's kind of wild, right? But that's kind of where we're at, is like these companies like that you used to consider like the big third party AAA publishers, their influence is done. It's over. Like they no longer rule the industry, which is wild to think about, because like here we are, bam, new Silent Hill game drops and it's amazing and it sells over 1 million copies in like 3 days. Capcom, like everybody in the world is going bonkers over Resident Evil 9. These companies are doing better than ever from Japan. Chinese companies, Black Myth Wukong sold great. I mean, it's not maybe the most craziest thing, but like Genshin Impact and other Hoyoverse games, like they're doing great. You're starting to see interesting titles popping up out of like some of the African development studios and stuff like that, Middle Eastern development studios. So like you're seeing more and more from like the rest of the world, but like when it comes to like, publishers from America, publishers from Europe and stuff, I mean, it's not what it used to be. CD Projekt Red probably is okay, I guess, for now. But they fucked up real bad with Cyberpunk. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a hit and miss. You do have some of the small, like, I would say Remedy is doing pretty good. I would also say like, some of the Polish studios and stuff are doing all right. So it's not like it's all doom and gloom, but, in terms of like what you remember as like the big AAA publishers, I mean, they're not a thing anymore. And that kind of brings us to the other issue, which is in this one, is kind of wild too. Where did I just see it here? During an interview at the Tokyo Game Show 2025 with Game Watch via machine translation, Xbox president Sarah Bond was asked about how viable Xbox Game Pass is as a business, with the interviewer citing the price alongside the increasing number of titles. Bond responded that in the last fiscal year, Xbox Game Pass took in $5 billion in revenue, saying that it's a profitable business, and as more creators join Xbox Game Pass, payments to creators increase, so we think it's a good business for creators. Of course, that $5 billion number does not seem to be taking account the price of game development and the cost of Xbox Game Studios games releasing on Xbox Game Pass Day 1. However, Bond referred to the service as profitable, so presumably the gains are enough to offset this cost. So that's funny that this came out, because the other news that came out today is they I don't even know what button I'm gonna hit for this. Let's see here. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Well, it will be how you feel about things after this. Alright, I'm gonna do it now. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They raised the price. Yeah, they did. Which really, really sucks. So I really think that what the people who work at Microsoft need to do is... God, I love that clip. Anyways, yeah, they raised the price of Game Pass. And they combined PC Game Pass with all the other Game Passes now. That was inevitable, but what sucks is PC Game Pass is nowhere near the quality. Like, I'm sorry. PC Game Pass still has a lot of issues that they just aren't fixing. The app is shit. You're still using Windows Store for it. It's crap. It's buggy. It should be slightly cheaper on account of the fact that like it's not on par with the console version of the service. But now they're going to tell you it is. So the way they're framing this, you can already kind of see it. I know the other one is blocked off. I'm not moving my browser for this. But essentially you have 3 tiers now. You have Essential, you have Premium, and then you have Ultimate. So Premium, you get access to 50 plus games. Ooh. $10 a month, unlimited cloud gaming, in-game benefits including for Riot Games, online console multiplayer, and play and earn up to $25 a year in the store through rewards. Ooh, a whole $25, Microsoft. Hope you can afford that, being a company that makes almost $1 trillion a year. Anyway, online console multiplayer does not mean shit to you if you're PC player. In-game benefits, including for Riot Games, that's just bullshit. And unlimited cloud gaming, I guess. I mean, sure. Hopefully that it means that you can play your Xbox 360 games on PC. $10 a month for 50 plus games is okay, I guess. But it's not really that great of a deal, to be honest. 200 plus games for the premium. This is the one that they're gonna try and get everybody to be on as a minimum. This one is just so they can say starting at $9.99 to make it look good for advertising. This is the real meat here. This is now playable on PC console called $15 a month. New Xbox published games within a year of launch. So it's no longer Xbox Day 1. It is Xbox games within a year of launch. They even have the little asterisks. Excludes Call of Duty titles. So you don't get the Call of Duty titles right off the bat for the $15 a month. So, you know, what's the new, whatever the new shooty bang Call of Duty is, I can't remember if it's Black Ops 200 or whatever, that comes out in like a month. Yep, guess what? You're paying the $15 price, $15 a month price, and you still don't get access to it. Unlimited cloud gaming for shorter wait times. So basically, you know, you're a premium customer, you get faster, a sooner spot in the line. Slightly more money a year for the in-store rewards. Wow. 200 plus games. I don't know how they're qualifying this game size difference. They don't tell you that. And then Ultimate, I'll read it to you since it's blocked off, is 400 plus games. So double the games. Whoa. This is $30 a month. What are we fucking doing here? $30 fucking a month for a game subscription service is fucking wild. Sorry. Anyways, you get 75 plus day one games a year, including all Xbox published games day one. There you go. Boom. That's what they're doing, is they're holding the Game Pass, like the day one Game Pass thing. That is where, if you want to play day and date, boom. You got to pay your fucking $30 a month for that privilege. Otherwise, you got to wait within a year. Or you just never fucking get it on the low tier here. Ubisoft Classics and EA Play included with Fortnite Crew coming in November. You didn't get that on these. I can tell you right now, the PC Game Pass had it. On the lower tiers. Not anymore. Unlimited cloud gaming. At our best quality with the shortest waiting times. So, now we're saying there's a quality thing. You didn't mention that with here. So what's the quality? Is it 1080p? 720? They don't tell you. In-game benefits, okay, blah, blah. And, you can earn up to $100 a year in the store with rewards. Wow. You're giving them $30 a month. $30 a month. So, napkin math here. 30 times 12. That is $360 a year. For some people, if you are deep into Microsoft's ecosystem, or you just genuinely only really like to dabble in games every month, but you're somebody who dabbles in a lot of games a month, maybe $360 is worth it to you. But $360, I know games now are pretty pricey if you're gonna buy a nice high-end game. But like Silksong is $20 and you own it forever. I know, not always, but you're gonna own it forever, basically. Long enough that you're not gonna give a shit in 20 years. I mean, I'm not saying the subscription services are bad for everybody. But like, there's a point where it's like, what is the point of Microsoft Game Pass? Like, the reason why subscription services take off, because what you're looking at here, this is in-shitification. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at in-shitification. The reason why subscription services take off is because they're cheap and convenient. And like, that is not you know, like it's still convenient, but now it's not cheap. You know, like that's how Netflix started. That's how I got sucked into Netflix. When I first started getting sucked into Netflix, this would have been early 2000s. Yeah, this would have been early, or not early 2000s, sorry, early 2010s. Because I got my Wii U. And I was like, ooh, you know, like the tablet functions like a remote control. And at the time you could use the tablet to browse Netflix and do other stuff on it while Netflix was playing on the TV as well. So, you know, it just worked out. It became, you know, we didn't have a streaming box. So boom, there you go. Most people probably had a similar path. You know, if you didn't have like Amazon Fire or whatever, you know, or Roku, you know, you use your gaming console to stream. And so that's what we did. And so, you know, at the time, I think it was like $7 or $8 a month for Netflix, you know, which, God, in the long, long ago days of 2013, you know, like it wasn't that long ago, but now it is apparently. Today, I pay like $27 or $26 a month for Netflix. You know, it's 2025. It's been maybe like, what, a little over 15 years? Not even. You know, my service has tripled in price. It just actually more than tripled in price, you know, because I have to have a second, you know, service for family members who travel, you know, like, because apparently you can't just let them have your Netflix password. And that way, when they're shacked up somewhere for 2 weeks, they can still watch Netflix. Like, how dare I? You know, and I get it. They're trying to cut down on the password sharing thing, blah, blah, blah. It's shit, whatever. I don't fucking think it's... Obviously, their shareholders are happy because it caused a whole bunch of new signups, but whatever, you know. But the point is like, Netflix is not cheap anymore. And I can fucking tell you right now, I don't watch this shit. I barely watch television anymore. I don't have enough time in my life to really give a shit about these things. Like, there's so much junk and filler that, like, I don't really watch much TV at all anymore. And I only really do for, like, a handful of things that I get interested in. Other than that, like, you know, if I'm bored, I sit down and I watch Twitch. I watch people playing games on Twitch. Or I'll watch YouTube videos. You know, like, I'd be more interested in subscribing to YouTube than I would be to Netflix at this point. The only reason I have Netflix is because of my mom. Because, you know, it gives her something to watch. Because she's, you know, old school TV person. Which I am too, but, like, you know, my idea of that kind of stuff is I would build my own media server. And just make it look like a cable TV channel. But yeah, anyways, you know, this is silly. This is silly. This is the shitification. They're trying to squeeze more profit because the number of people that isn't going. So, let's see here. Trying to see like the services here. Xbox Cloud Gaming has also officially exited beta as part of our commitment to make gameplay smoother and more responsive. With our upgraded rewards program, players can get up to 30% value on select Game Pass games with 4 times points on purchase of games and add-ons, 10% back in points on select Game Pass library titles and add-ons, and up to 20% off of select Game Pass games. Yeah. Microsoft is also increasing the price of its PC Game Pass subscription today, moving from $11.99 a month to $16.49 monthly, a nearly 40% increase. Microsoft isn't trying to justify this increase with any added extras for PC players, though. The only change happening for PC Game Pass subscribers is that they won't be getting Ubisoft Plus Classics, but they'll be getting about 50 additional Ubisoft titles across PC Game Pass. It will continue to get day one titles. $17 a month for me to play Game Pass on PC. Guess what I'm not getting anymore? See, I used to dip for like 10, 12 bucks. Why not? You know, play some games on Game Pass for like a month and then fuck off. You know, I know it's only a couple of dollars more, but it's like, I mean, it's just not there. It's not there. I don't really play enough games for Game Pass to be a decent value anymore. But it's lunacy. $30 a month is fucking wild. So, yeah. We live in a society, man. We live in a society. All right. I think it's time to jump into Ratshaker. Have a little bit of fun. Knock out the wacky stuff in the world here. All right. There we go. Why is there no audio? Oh, there we go. The fuck was that? Oh, wrong one. All right. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, that was weird. All right. Let's gonna nestle ourselves in here, and we will we'll activate spooky mode here. Yeah. All right. There we go.
Pesky rats that just won't leave you alone? Introducing Ratshaker, the fast, easy, and fun way to keep rats in check. Just hold, shake, and watch that meter.
Okay. 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 We are gonna take a short break. Let's see here. After these messages, we'll be right back. Oh man. All right. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get up. I gotta refresh my drink real quick. Yeah, we're gonna immediately jump into shake and bake here, or shake ratatouille. Yeah, that. All right. I'll be right back, guys.
My people, I won't give up on you. Come with me. Be free.
All right. I'm back. Woo! All right. Let's take some rats. Yeah, baby. Yeah! Controller. We're just shaking it. I've got practice. My wrists are so good at this. Yeah! Shake that rat. Yeah! My sight gotta get probably. Well, we're gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna shake my head around too. We're just shaking and shaking and shaking. Yeah, shake, 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 shake. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey. Well, there's a farmhouse. All right. Get my wrist a break. This trick here. It's a good wrist action. Is to give yourself a break. Too much wrist action can be bad for you. Carpal tunnel. Just saying. All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Now what? What are we doing? What's next? Wind's picking up. Keep shaking. I'm shaking. Ah, my arm. We're doing this. Come on. Feel it. Taste it. Listen.
That you shake me. You can't undo what has been done.
what it has to say. Oh, it has nothing to say, does it? Well, shake it harder until it yields. Shake it. Shake it. You can see the world changing around you. You know what's changing. You can see the things appearing. You know why these things are appearing, do you not? Why do you not know why these things are appearing? The things that are appearing should be obvious to you because of what you did. You know what you did. Listen. It still has nothing to say. Keep shaking until it gives you the answers that you need to know. Shake it, shake it, shake the rock. Keep shaking, shake it. You must shake it. Keep shaking. Do not stop shaking. Shake, 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 shake the rat. You must shake the rat. Keep shaking. Shake it harder until it yields. Shake it until you get the answers that you deserve because you know you need.
Okay, it's gonna loop now. I was like, listening to the voice to see how far it would go. I love that. The rat, you shake the rat, because it knows the thing that you did, that thing, you know that thing, yeah. The objects appearing in the background. Ah. How do you squeeze the rat? Oh.
I yield. You've broken my will. Oh, great shaker of rats. The answers you seek are over there. Beyond that hill stands a house that was not there before. A house that has no familiar shape. A house built by sin. Go now, Rat Shaker. Seek what you yearn for.
Because if you do not know the answers to your questions, then you will not find out what you need to know. And you need to know what you need to know because of what you did. Now shake the rat and find your answers. Shake the rat. Rat shaker, rat shaker, rat shaker, rat. Rat shaker, rat shaker, rat shaker, rat.
Rat, 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 rat. Rat shaker, rat shaker, rat shaker, rat. Rat, 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 rat. So what if I don't go to the house? What if I go to this building over here that appeared first? Think it's gonna let me? No run button. That's all you're getting. Kind of creepy, not gonna lie. Rat, 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 rat. Alright. The fuck happened? You got crushed by the anvil. Oh, I gotta do it all again? Ah! Alright, fine. We tried. We tried. Come on, come on. We're not stopping. The laugh, man. The, ah!
What it has to say. It has nothing to say. Well, shake it harder until it yields.
It doesn't matter how much you shake me.
You can see the world
You
changing
can't undo
around
what has
you.
been
No
done.
one's changing. You can see the things appearing. Know why these things are appearing, do you not? Why do you not know why these things are appearing?
Alright.
Things that are appearing should be obvious to you.
Let's lock in. We're getting this done.
No one
Dun 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 dun.
It still has nothing to say. Keep shaking until it gives you the answers that you need to know.
Ah.
Keep shaking. Shake it. Keep shaking.
Okay.
I yield. You've broken my will, O great shaker of rats. The answers you seek are over there. Beyond that hill stands a house that was not there before. A house that has no familiar shape. A house built by sin. Go now, Rat Shaker. Seek what you yearn for.
Alright. So, don't go in there because it drops an anvil at you. So we'll check out the main house now. I'm just doing this because it's fun at this point. Yeah.
This is where it happened. You must know what's inside, and there's no turning back. must find it. Abandon hope, ye who enter here.
Are those rats with... They're like mouse flies. Alright, so now we're in the house. Do I want to know? Oh, there we go. What you playing? It's a game called Rat Shaker. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a game where you shake rats. But it's like a spooky horror game, though. Okay, find it. Whatever it may be. Okay, I don't wonder what that is. Oh, hey. Yeah, I know, right? Alright. A lot of fucking doors, damn. Oh. Oh, okay, it loops us back around.
Are you tired of dealing with pesky rats that just won't leave you alone? Introducing Rat Shaker, the fast, easy, and fun way to keep rats in check. Just hold, shake.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I got a picture. This must have been the it that it wanted me to find. Hey! That's dark as fuck. Okay, there's two pictures of the same thing. Bro, it's fucking dark in here. Oh, there we go. Wait, what? I was just here.
She never loved you.
What just... Okay. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Maybe this is it?
Stop running.
What the fuck? I don't know what shaking the rat actually does. Okay.
Are you tired of dealing with pesky rats that just
the same
won't
thing
leave
as
you
before.
alone? Introducing Ratchet.
It's a radio. Oh, weird. So you have to keep this meter charged. What is that picture, man? Okay, so it's a bed. Oh, I know what this is. This is a rip of the there's an old painting. It's like Jupiter eating Zeus or something like that, or like Titans. But anyways, it's an old Greek painting of like Zeus being eaten by one of the elder gods or whatever. Okay. We're going this way. We're going to the lights. Oh. Did they redo all of the paintings to look like rats? Oh. All right, come on, come on. There we go. All right. So we found another picture. Okay. Hey, it's a toilet. And a sink.
Ow! Okay, dude. That one actually hurt. Like, seriously, cut it out.
Okay. This game is weird as fuck. I gotta shake the rat. Alright, so we got that turned on. Okay. Now do we try and flush? Oh. Apparently you can kill the rat. Okay. The fuck? Alright, back in. What the fuck?
It doesn't matter how much you shake me. You can't undo what has been done.
What the fuck is going on in this place? Oh! What the fuck? Ew. Is he he's a glow stick now. What? That's creepy. Oh my god, the rat has a shard in him.
Oh my god. I think you broke something.
I think I did too. Oh.
You have a nasty attitude.
Oh. Nothing down there, though. I hope that doesn't summon the poop killer. It's like a dead body or something. And it's just a baby floating in the air. Alright, so not in there. What else we got? And we got that. What's over here? Oh, a door. Alright. Into the creepy basement. Am I going anywhere? I am, okay. Here, we'll do this so I can actually see if there's anything that's actually happening. Oh. Kinda? Did I die again? Light up, show me things. I can't see anything. Oh, there we go. And there's the steps, okay. Oh. Wait. Is this where we came in? This is so dark, I have no idea what I'm looking at here. No. I guess that was it. Weird. Yeah, I don't really know what the point of that was. It doesn't help that it's ridiculously dark. Oh, I can't get out? Well, shiitake mushrooms, that sucks. Hmm. Guess we could try that radio again.
It doesn't matter how much.
Trying to get that. Alright.
You cannot escape.
What the hell is going on? Am I a rat in the maze? Oh, I think I have to figure out how to get in there. Just all these various paintings of rats. Oh.
I can smell it. Down there. I wonder if she knows what happened under her own floorboards. Enough. Your iniquities have led you here. There's no going back now. Face the truth.
Okay. This is so fucking weird. Oh, okay. Alright. Sorry, I didn't want to see anyway. Sheesh. What the fuck is that? What a weird way to have dinner. Okay, doesn't seem like there's anything in there though. Let's try door number 2. Missing. I'm waiting for like the big jump scare thing to happen. There's bodies everywhere. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. I don't know if I want to turn on the oven. Last time I did that, everything exploded. Okay. Wait, was that a door? No, it's just part of the scenery. Alright, last door. What's this? Yay, the power's on. Face us? Oh, I don't get it. Oh. Okay. Creepy eyes. Mannequin. More mannequins. Yeah, that was kind of a cheap jump scare. All right. So we gotta get that open. So there's gonna be another generator around here somewhere. Okay. That did not go so well, now did it? What the heck? Was I too aggressive? What? What is going on? What the fuck?
Pathetic.
What the heck? Am I bugged? I wonder, am I... I wonder if I'm bugged. Hold on a sec. I'll relaunch it and see what happens. Because that's the only way out of the room is to turn on that generator, so the fact that it's doing that is weird. Also, now it's in small size. I want you to be big size. Go big. Thank you. Alright, so I'm back in here. Give me a sec. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Had to pee. All right. Let's see if this fixes it. Okay, I need more Rack Shaker juice. You told me to shake! Okay. I gotta see if this is actually bugged or not. You have to use the mouse and not the controller. Okay. Let's try it this way then. What the heck? Okay, so I tried it with a mouse and keyboard. It's the same fucking issue. I don't know what I'm doing differently. Alright, I have no idea. Oh, somebody else is having the same issue apparently. Play for the first time. I go to the gender room. I got through. A little bit of time goes and I die. So I got to start from the gender room again. But this time, when I activate the generator and the room it says to shake, it blows up. Every time it blows up, I wait. I move around. Boom. Load the game several times. Nothing changes. What am I supposed to do? Nobody responded. Seems like a bunch of people get bugs with this game. Game crashing. So that's the only person that's mentioning anything about that generator. But yeah, it definitely seems like there's some issues with the game. Alright, that's frustrating. Because I can't progress. It's bugged. And I don't know why. But there's something wrong with it. I mean, we'll give it another shot. But yeah, this is supposed to activate. So you shake your rat to charge him up. Alright, so your rat's fully charged. You use the charge to do your thing. So now you're supposed to shake the rat. But it just explodes instantly. Which it's not supposed to do that. And it's the only way out of the room. Because that door is no longer accessible. And that door is the way out. This gate over here. And you can't the only thing you can activate in this room, to click on to do anything, is this generator right here. I mean, I can shake. I didn't even do anything that time. All right. Well, that sucks. Oh, wow. Just turn the filter off, huh? I kind of like it on. So what happens if you hit restart? Well, all right. That sucked. That sucked. All right. Well, yeah. Not exactly how I planned on that one ending. But I don't regret picking up. It was $1. I mean, right now, it's currently $1 on Fanatical. I recommend it. I mean, despite the bug, I did enjoy it. It was a nice, good, goofy, spooky experience. It just kind of sucks that, like, I hit that bug. And maybe there's a way past it, but I can't be bothered to give a shit. I just wanted to play something spooky for a little bit, and Rat Shaker is known to be a spooky game. There, activate my Halloween background. So, yeah. Not all that bad. Alright guys, I've been streaming for about 2 hours. So even though I started super late because I fell asleep, it's been a pretty good cast. So yeah, got to talk about a bunch of stuff and, you know, kind of get back into things a little bit. And then we played some Rat Shaker. So, yeah. Let's see. I suppose what we could do, actually, before we go too far, we could do this fun thing here. Let's see. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Alright, let's see here. So, how many endings? Alright. Okay. All right, we'll do this one. Rat Shaker story and ending explained. Because I feel like that's probably the way to go here. All right, so let's there we go. All right. Okay, let's see what YouTube has for us. Ah,
A mentally
Spooky.
unstable man finds himself in a surreal rabbit hole of events where he slowly unravels the tragedy that led him here. The game starts with a commercial about rat poison, which is cut short with the protagonist finding himself in an open field, holding a rat in his hand tightly. A whisper in his head instructs him to shake the rat, which he complies to. The rat makes human sounds and screams in agony and cries. It seems as if this rat has a human soul. A meter above the screen measures the amount of how much the rat is shaken. Each time the meter is filled, a new subject appears in the distance, unraveling more and more about this man's life, as if being fragmented parts of his memory. Terrifying whispers play over and over in the man's head, being muffled yet too loud and distracting. The clear voice in his head keeps telling him to shake the rat. That's until the rat itself starts talking, explaining no matter how much the protagonist shakes him, he won't be able to undo what he has done. Eventually, the voice in his head tells him to squeeze the rat to the point of near suffocation. The rat breaks to the torture, revealing a house in the distance, guiding the protagonist to go there to find the secrets that lie in there.
okay.
I yield. You've broken my will, O great shaker of rats. The answers you seek are over there. Beyond that hill stands a house that was not there before. A house that has no familiar shape. A house built by sin. Go now.
Sorry, I'm skipping through because, like, I don't...
The protagonist is finally able to move,
There, finally.
desperate to find the truth and what has been hiding in plain sight. He moves closer to the house which the rat claimed to be made of sin, a house which holds the secrets to how he ended up here and what has happened. The protagonist feels as if the house is familiar, yet struggles to remember.
Oh my god, no, I'm not... No. Sorry. That is stupid. I don't need to have a play-by-play of what we just fucking watched. Alright. How about this one?
My favorite thing about psychological horror is how weird it can be.
Okay, thank
And
you.
by far one of
An
the
actual
weirdest
fucking
games I've
narrator.
played is
This is where it happened. You must know what's inside, and there's no turning back. Abandon hope, ye who enter here.
There we go. A little better.
Introducing Rat Shaker, the fast, easy, and fun way to keep rats in check. Just hold, shake, and watch that meter.
In Rat Shaker, your only objective is to shake the rat. You're standing in an empty field, just you and the rodent, shaking away to your heart's content. And as the Rat Shaker meter reaches full, things start to appear in the distance. First a barn, then a windmill, and as you stare at the distant structures, you'll notice a voice beginning to whisper at you, ordering you to continue shaking, telling you that the things appearing in the field will become obvious to you once you remember what you've done. And then, the rat also speaks.
It doesn't matter how much you shake me. You can't undo what's been done.
You know why these things are appearing, do you not? Why do you not?
So you continue shaking, filling up the meter until the voice instructs you to stop. Now, needing answers, you're instructed to squeeze. You tighten your grip until the rat turns purple, and the screen instructs you to stop. But if you don't stop, the rat's eyes begin to bulge, and after a few seconds, it dies. The screen berates you, asking why you didn't stop, why you didn't listen, and you're sucked into the ground, left with all questions unanswered. So when the screen tells you to stop squeezing, you should stop and listen to what the rat has to say.
I yield. You've broken my will. O great shaker of rats, the answers you seek are over there. Beyond that hill stands a house that was not there before. A house that has no familiar shape. A house built by sin. Go now, Rat Shaker. Seek what you yearn for.
Now you can move. You wander through the field, listening to the rat speak as you draw nearer and nearer to the house.
This is where it happened. You must know what's inside.
We're just gonna kind of skip till we get inside.
You must find it. Abandon hope, ye who enter here.
From now on, shaking and squeezing the rat has more of a purpose. You fill up the Rat Shaker meter by shaking, and then use the meter to do tasks like opening doors and turning on faucets in the house by squeezing. But before we go into the house, there's one more building in the field that we'll want to check out. Walking a little further takes you to the barn, and inside you'll find a sign with an arrow that points up. Hey, we got an achievement. Once we enter the house, it seems completely normal, but if you pay attention, you can start to figure out the story that this game's trying to tell. There are two bedrooms, one only used for storing a few boxes, and one with a bed and a closet that's also piled with boxes. The bathroom is bare, the kitchen is cluttered with a few boxes and dishes, and the stove isn't set up yet. By the boxes and the clutter, we can tell that this is a house that's just being moved into. A picture by the bed shows a couple that we can presume are newlyweds that have just bought this house and are eager to begin their lives together. It's the beginning of a story, the beginning of a family. The door to the basement is locked, only opening once you interact with the television and receive a piece of a picture. There are memories that are starting to come together but are still fragmented. You need more, so you go to the now open door and walk down the stairs. Newspapers line the ground. They're blurry, but you can read the headline, "Husband Labeled." And on the picture, we see the same man from the newlywed photo, only now his eyes have been covered by a black bar, showing that whatever he's been labeled as is likely shameful. Opening the door brings us back to the main floor. The room layout is the same, but time has clearly...
Admittedly, I probably could have just read the newspaper things. Oops. But yeah, with the pixelation effect, it's kind of hard to notice some of those details, that's for sure.
Clearly advanced, and we're getting another piece of this story. One lamp flickers on and off, and another is laying on the ground. Now, instead of boxes, empty brown bottles litter every surface. The picture of the newlyweds is gone, and in the once empty room is the crib of a crying child swarmed with rats. Whatever's happened, the once happy newlyweds have started a downward spiral. Once again, the door to the basement is locked. We'll need another piece of the story to continue towards the truth.
The meme picture.
On the couch, there's a pillow, and interacting with it plays the sound of an alarm, followed by the rat mocking you.
She never loved you.
Interacting with the TV causes it to also explode, a shard of glass piercing and killing the rat. The voice in your head then mocks you as your dead companion was the only one with answers, so now you're stuck, helpless to act as a swarm of rats devour you.
The rat's dead. Nothing you can do. You can't bring the rat back. You must quit the game now. You must quit and retry, because the rat is dead, and the rat is the only thing that gives you the answers. You killed the rat.
The only other option is to interact with the crib, but when you do, a blurred form falls and is followed by another rat swarm that quickly covers it. Doing this causes another piece of that picture to appear, and opens the path for you to continue to the basement. At this point, it's clear that whoever we're playing is fighting memories that he's been trying to repress. The beer bottles show that he likely lost his job, probably due to whatever the newspaper was hinting at, and this turned him to alcoholism. The pillow and alarm sound on the couch are likely telling us that he's been sleeping outside of his bed for a while, and his marriage has started to fall apart. And the crying child is just that, a newborn that's being neglected. I've seen a few theories that say the child died here, either being shaken to death as the title Rat Shaker hints at, or by being eaten by rats while the father ignored its cries. There are clearly rats in the house at this point, and a box of unopened rat poison is by the bedroom, but I don't think that the baby died. At least, not yet. Going down to the basement again shows even more bottles, and when you enter the next room, the walls are filled with static and floating objects. Whatever comes next is something that the player's mind does not want to remember, but as we near the door, we're told to find her, and we must continue forward. The house is now in complete disrepair. Infestations of rats swarm around the furniture, and the couch where you once slept is now stained in blood. Outside of the bathroom are opened boxes of rat poison, and a wall made of flesh, and when you turn on the faucets, blood pours into the sink and tub. In the tub, there's another blurred body, bigger than the one that we saw in the crib, clearly not a child. And inside of the child's room is more of the strange fleshy walls, and hovering over the crib is a small, blurred corpse. The door to the basement is hidden, the player's psyche trying to hide the truth from him as long as possible, but by searching the bedroom's closet, you find the stairs, and when you squeeze the rat, this time he glows, providing light and offering a chance to guide you towards the answers that you seek. There's a lot that just happened, and I think that this part of the story was telling us when the child died. When you first enter this area, you can find a small figure standing in the hallway. It's still blurred, but is making sounds, so it's not quite dead. The child is moving around, probably still too young to walk, but just at the right age to crawl and stand. And this brings us to the multiple open boxes of rat poison.
That was that weird thing I noticed.
I think the curious kid got into the poison, and the alcoholic father didn't notice until it was too late. When the wife returned home, she was obviously destroyed and probably furious. She blamed her husband for the death of the child, and as she screamed, his psyche snapped, and he killed her on the couch as it's now covered in blood. For the time being, he placed her body in the bathtub, but needed a more permanent place to hide what he'd done, so he took her down to the basement. And with the rat's glow to guide us, this is where we find ourselves now. The basement is a maze of flesh and bars. On the wall, another blurred corpse holds a piece of the photo, allowing us to go further into the basement, our memories now nearly intact. The truth ahead is dark and disturbing, so don't forget to take a little rat shake break.
Da 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 da.
When you go deeper, the rat taunts you again.
You cannot escape.
The rooms no longer make sense as your journey deeper into your house and mind causes everything to morph together and form strange layouts and traps. A maze of bars forces you to walk past your bed, where the form of a body is hiding just beneath the covers, and just before you enter the final area, you walk through a hallway covered in paintings. The same paintings that your wife loved so much, the art acting as a shrine that leads to her final resting place.
I can smell it. Down there. I wonder if she knows what happened under her own floorboards. Enough. Your iniquities have led you here. There's no going back now. Face the truth.
The final piece of the photo is held in the hand of another corpse, and the image comes together to show a woman with a terrifying smile being held by a large hand. And walking even deeper into your memories unravels the truth.
It's just
of
a
what the
weird
player has
picture.
been trying to forget.
Look at what you've done. What started with vows of love now ends wrapped up in plastic. Reduced to rat food. You are the wife shaker.
I don't remember this at all.
And then, with the flashing lights of police sirens, credits roll, and the story of Ratshaker is complete.
That was
You
it?
are the wife shaker. A man who, like many others, had the dream of starting a family, only to have it all destroyed when he couldn't cope with his addictions. What starts out as a game about shaking a rat ends with domestic abuse and murder. The rats that now eat at the corpses of those that you once loved being your only link to reality and your only semblance of sanity. So you shake them, and as you do, you forget about the tragic life that you've created. But when you forget completely, the memories come crawling back. The rats won't let you forget. Like I said, this is a really weird game, and it takes a lot of dark turns, but I love how such a shocking story can be told using a bizarre and silly medium. I feel pretty confident in most of the story, but the biggest mystery and speculation has to do with what really happened to the child. There is also a possibility that's hinted at where you could claim that the player character is a serial killer who's been hiding multiple bodies in his basement. The rat mentions that the wife didn't know what was happening under her floorboards, and the maze of the basement has rooms that look a lot like prison cells, each housing a blurred corpse. But at this point in the game, the madness has fully taken over, so I don't think that we're supposed to take these moments as literal truths, but more as metaphors of his locked away memories and guilt. So, let me know your thoughts
I don't know
on
about that.
Ratshaker. Do you think that using humor and bizarre mechanics adds to a story like this, or do you prefer something less strange and distracting? And as for the story, what do you think happened? Were there clues that I missed, or do you agree with the synopsis that I built using the pieces we were given? As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and a huge thanks to my YouTube members. Even if you were all a bunch of rats, I would simply refuse to shake you, because that's how much I love you.
All right.
But that's all I've got for now, so until next time, bye-bye.
All right. So this is Writer's Blockbuster. You can give him a like and subscribe there if you like him. It's a good video. I think this basically covers the game minus the ending, which I was probably very close to. It's not a very long game, as you've seen here. Hold on a sec. So yeah, I mean, like, pretty straightforward story. Dead family, bad husband, all that kind of shit. Pretty common theme in a lot of horror games. Sad dad simulators are not unique to just action adventure games. But yeah, in terms of, like the bizarre mechanic of the game, I feel like, if you're gonna have bizarre, horror is where you're gonna be able to have it. One of the best things about 80s horror movies is that, like, despite the low budget effort of a lot of them, most of them are just not very good movies, let's be honest. But they move into that so bad it's good kind of thing, because of how, like, weird some of the gimmicks were. You had everything from, like, killer clowns from outer space to troll to what's the one, critters. You had just really strange ideas that sometimes kind of worked out, like Tremors, where it's like, the gimmick kind of works. And in this case, yeah, the gimmick works. Ratshaker is absolutely weird and silly and stupid, but the mechanic lends itself really well to, that odd sense of like surreal horror. Because otherwise, I think the problem with a lot of horror games is like people were complaining about Silent Hill 2 remake versus like Silent Hill F, and saying Silent Hill F isn't very scary. But Silent Hill 2 isn't really that scary either. Silent Hill 2 is oppressive. Like, it never lets up. There's no levity in Silent Hill 2. There kind of is a little bit. The one time you meet Maria for the first time, and you make your way towards the strip club, that's not so bad. But like overall, Silent Hill 2 just doesn't let up. The entire time that you're playing Silent Hill 2, like, it is oppressive. And you're always feeling very like, just like the weight of everything is on top of you. And so there are spooky moments in terms of like a couple of jump scares here and there and things like that. But it's mostly just very disturbing imagery combined with a very heavy topic, in a format that is basically just a constant, like, you're just constantly, I'm trying to think of like the way to say this. So like the nature of Silent Hill 2, is that there's this constant feeling that you don't ever get a break from the game. I guess is the best way to say it. Like in Resident Evil, you have the safe rooms, and the safe rooms give you the safe room music, and everybody loves the safe room music. Like here. We'll do one of my safe room themes from Resident Evil Code Veronica. Here. So you get this music. It's nice and pleasant, right? It helps you kind of like, you have a moment of like, I've been fighting zombies and weird mutated creatures and other bad guys this entire time. I finally hit a nice spot where I could save, reorient myself. Where am I going to go next? What do I have for keys? What do I have for ammunition? What kind of puzzle pieces do I have? How do I want to situate my inventory for the next, run out of here? Before I come back for another break, like that type of thing. So we're just going to let that loop. Code Veronica, I love Code Veronica, even though I know it has not aged very well. It's still one of my favorite Resident Evils. I really hope that they do a remake of this. Anyways, we'll leave this running for a while. But yeah, I mean, it's that's what I mean. Is like Silent Hill 2 is just constantly like dark and depressing and just very oppressive, and you don't really feel like you get a lot of respite. And Silent Hill F, I've been watching people play the streams. I'm fairly spoiled on the game now. Personally, I'm not. I've never been one that's like averse to spoilers. I'm still gonna play the game and still enjoy it. I'm not expecting it to be, a worse experience because I've been spoiled on things. That said, like, Silent Hill F is very dark in story. What happens in Silent Hill F, and I'm not doing any spoilers here. Sorry, I'm rubbing my nose. What happens in Silent Hill F, like, they warn you right when you start the game. Like, these are heavy topics. Like, these are topics about gender issues. They are topics about alcoholism, violence, drugs, like the whole smorgasbord. And in Silent Hill F, just like in Silent Hill 2 Remake, you don't really get a lot of weird respite. But if the game really tried to use the atmosphere of Silent Hill 2, in addition to the heavy topics it already has, like, I feel like it would be a really hard game to deal with. like emotionally. Maybe not for everybody, you know, you edgy 12-year-olds out there, probably not. But like for most people, I mean, it's already a dark enough story. Some of those cutscenes are fucking brutal. Like, you don't need more than that. Like, there's a reason why, even though I like horror, I don't want to be steeped in like the darkest parts of horror, because like there's a point where it's just not fun horror. It's like it's just like it's too close to the sun, I guess you'd say. It's kind of like with Mortal Kombat. My favorite Mortal Kombats are the old ones, and a big reason why is actually because I feel that Mortal Kombat has gotten too realistic. I know, right? It's wild saying that, considering that the first Mortal Kombat, like, everybody melted down because they were like, oh, the blood and realism. I mean, it was cartoony blood, but nowadays it's like you get x-rays of characters getting their bones broken. The blood and viscera of like getting sliced in half or whatever horrible thing is going to happen to the players with fatalities and stuff. It's too much. Like, I remember with, I think it was Mortal Kombat 10. You know, there was a kind of like, a small amount of talk about like developers getting PTSD, because in order to make that stuff, they have to look at real blood and guts. And that weighs on you. When you're looking at that stuff for months, potentially years on end, I mean, it's too much. It's too much. So as much as I like horror games and stuff, I am happier with Ghostbusters and Luigi's Mansion, or, you know, just anything like that. Because like, you know, I want horror. You know, I want ghosts and goblins and ghouls and monsters and, you know, all that kind of stuff. What I don't want, what I'm tired of seeing in a lot of video game horror, is not that. It's topics that are a lot more, you know, mental. You know, like, don't get me wrong, Silent Hill 2 is a great game, but Silent Hill 2 is about a dude who killed his wife and is dealing with the guilt from that. Regardless of the reasons why he did it, he did it. You know, and Silent Hill 2 is basically the story of him coming to terms with that. You know, and a lot of horror games are like that, you know, where it's like, you know, even Ratshaker, you know, somebody committed a murder or did a horrible thing, and then you have to uncover the mental anguish that they're going through and watch them go through it, you know, and it's like, it's too much. Like, you know, give me shooty bang bang type stuff when it comes to that. Like, I want to be able to, like, you know, like Fear, you know, or Alien, or, you know, any of those types of games where, you know, I have a gun and I can shoot a monster. You know, running from a spooky monster, like in Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm okay with that. What I don't need is Five Nights at Freddy's trying to weigh me down with, like, you know, my wife divorced me and these animatronic robots have the soul of my dead wife or something, you know? Something like that is just, it's a bit much. It's a bit much. You know, and I know, like, Five Nights at Freddy's has some wild shit too. Like, you know, the souls of children are, like, inside the robots or something fucking wild like that. But it's absurd. Right? The absurdity helps keep horror from getting too much to you mentally. So Ratshaker, perfectly fine. You shake that rat. And, like, it creates some wild shit. Like, I was not expecting him to fucking break the rat in half like a glow stick. So that he, like, literally like a glow stick. That was okay. That's inspired. So, yeah. But, all right. Let's wrap this baby up. Yeah. I got an extra half an hour to stream. Yay! All right. All right. Let's turn off spooky mode. All right. So where does that leave us? Well, for leaves me at 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm fucking tired. So, you know, maybe that's a thing. But, yeah, outside of that, I think we should probably go ahead and just call this a cast. Yep. So, yeah, that was Rat Shaker. I'm sorry it bugged out, but at least we got to see the ending. I know there's a couple other multiple endings things, but like I don't really feel like it's worth it to kind of go through all that. And we saw a bunch of them, like, you know, the rat, you know, like we exploded and we killed the rat, and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, I liked it. It was fun. I'm glad we got some spookiness out of today. Can't be a spooky season stream without a spooky game, right? So, yeah, I'm going to try my best to be back tonight, to finish up Five Nights at Freddy's, at least the best as we possibly can. If not, finishing it completely tonight, definitely, or like the next stream, definitely the stream after that. So yeah. Just understand, and please try to understand that, like, life isn't amazing for me right now, and I'm doing my best, and there's just going to be times where I'm just not able to stream due to health reasons, or just because I just need a mental break from like everything, you know, and, yeah, but I'm doing my best. Yeah, it's just not easy. Anyway, I'm not going to end in a dour note. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate everybody coming out, checking the stream out, lurking, and all that kind of stuff. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Blue Sky. And I also have a Discord. So if you're on Twitch, all those links are in the bio. I really should make a socials thing for my stream so that you guys can see it in the chat. It's probably something I'll be working on here soon. I got to work on a few things for the stream. So, yeah, like for example, OBS broke my stream deck, so I don't have the ability to use any of the buttons, which is really freaking annoying. So I have to fix that too before the next stream. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. And I will see you all on the next one. Take care, guys.